Hey everyone, it's Michelle with Silver Snake Designs, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to make these awesome bicone bracelets. One thing I love about these, it's so easy to make, number one, and number two, you can use whatever color combination you want. It's just a lot of fun. It utilizes mini duos, seed beads, and bicones. So also wanted to mention too that the number of beads that you're going to use is going to depend on how long your wrist is. So for this one, this is about just this part of the bracelet alone, not including the findings, is about 6.5 inches. And I used 88 mini duos to do 6.5 inches. But for the total bracelet, including the other mini duos that we're going to add on, it's about 144 to make this bracelet. That doesn't include the findings, but you also want to do too, you want to think about is your findings. So this bracelet actually by itself is really, I think, 7 3/4. Yeah, so it's really 7 3/4. It's almost 8 inches. So your findings are going to add on some length. So you want to be sure of that. So if you do have a 6.5 inch wrist, just be advised that your findings will add on a lot more bulk to it. Okay, so let's get started with the materials list, or your recipe list, whatever you want to call it. I'm using a beading needle. I'm using Fireline. You're going to need mini duos in whatever color you want. I'm using like a gold matte color, 4mm bicones. I'm using a light cyan color, and then size 11 seed beads. You can have 2 different colors, you can have the same color, you can have whatever you want, but you'll need size 11 seed beads. And then for findings, 2 clamshells, a jump ring, and a lobster clasp. So let's get started. Okay, so I've gone ahead and just moved away the beads that we're not going to use right now and just focus on what we're going to be using now. So we have just 1 clamshell. I've got about 6 seed beads, and I've got my pile of mini duos. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by picking up a seed bead and bringing it down, because this is going to be our stopper bead. And I like having tails. I like long tails. I'm sure you know that by my other videos. And then we're just going to tie this stopper bead on, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our clamshell, and then we're going to go down the mouth and out the back of the throat, and we're just going to put that on. So that way, our clamshell is eating the bead. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. And now what we're going to do, that was easy, we're going to pick up a seed bead, a mini duo, and a seed bead. We're going to bring that down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go right back up through the clamshell hole. Just like that. And then we'll pull. And then if your little stopper bead is not in your clamshell, you can just pull it and get it in there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our needle and we're going to go through that seed bead that is in the clamshell. Just like that. And then we're going to come out the bottom of the clamshell. And then we're going to go back through any one of those seed beads. So if you can do that, great. If you can't, I can't. Go out the clamshell, mind your thread. Make sure that your thread stays in the clamshell, and then go out the seed bead. Okay. Mind your tail. And just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go through this top part of the super duo, and then we'll go through the bottom hole of the super duo, going back the opposite way so that our thread sits against the super duo like that. And I like to work like this. It's easier for me with the thread facing me, because what I'm going to show you next is I want to show you how the thread or how the thread path goes. So I'm going to zoom in here. Okay. Oh, I was doing polymer clay earlier, so little flakes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up a mini duo and we're going to bring that down, and I'll show you what it looks like first, and then I'll show you a quick little shortcut. So that way it looks like this. And then we're going to go through the hole this way. I'm going to pull. And it's okay if your little mini duo is not up here, because you can just grab it like this and just bloop, push it up. Pretty easy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick up 2 mini duos. We'll bring those down. And now what's going to happen is we're going to go through just that bottom hole of the last mini duo that we put on, just like that. And so now your thread path is kind of going to look like this. So I just kind of wanted to show this to you and how we're going to get that diamond shape. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go through this top bead back up here. And what this is going to do when we pull, should give us our diamond shape. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back through there. And now what you want to do is take it and just boop, boop, pull it tight. And now the next step is to go through here, then just through this top part of that bottom bead. So just like that. And then back down out that way. And this is what you'll do every time, because we want to come out that bottom portion. And now the quicker way to do things so you don't have to bring everything down is just add on a super duo, mini duo, and then you could just go right through the hole on the bottom portion, just like that, and just pull tight. And then if it's down here, you just boop boop, push it up. And then another fun little thing you can do is you just go like this, put your mini duos on, and then you can just go right through that last one that you put on. And then what you do is just pull it all the way down, and then make sure you go through the bottom like that. And if it looks a little weird, it's okay if it looks like wonky, because once you do that, it should automatically give you your diamond shape. So you don't have to push it all the way down. If you once you start learning how to do this and how quick it is, then you can just add the beads on and then just do this, and then just bring it right through, and then pull it all the way down as you need, and then it can go fast. And that's all you really need to do. So now what I want you to do is do this your whole length down. Like I said before, it's going to take you approximately 88 mini duos just to give you 6.5 inches. So you may need more, you may need less. One thing I really love about doing the base first is that you can add it on and check as you go to see how long you're going to need it, and then you do that. So why don't you go ahead, let's add on our other last 2 beads here, and then I'll show you where you're going to end it. Then I automatically just come right through those beads. You can see how fast. And if your little bead gets stuck up like that, you can just bloop, plop it down. And then I always want to ready myself, go through there, and then back out here. So go ahead, add on the number of beads that you're going to need. And when you end here with your thread coming out this point, pause the video and I'll show you what to do next and how to add the other side of your bracelet. Hey guys, one thing I wanted to mention, which I forgot to mention in the video, is when you go and do your base, one of the things that you want to keep an eye out for are these spaces here in between. You want to make sure that when you do end like this, that you have an even number, because when we create our little square thing, you can see that we have our little diamond shaped pattern, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which makes up a section. So we have 1, 2 here, super duos, that will make up, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to always end where you have an even number of these spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 means I have to add on 1 more section. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, continue on. Bye. Okay, so I've gone ahead, I've created my piece in the length that I want, and now I'm going to add on the section here. So go grab your other clamshell and 3 seed beads, and I will show you what to do. So now what you want to do is pick up a seed bead, take your clamshell, and we're going to go through the throat and out the mouth, and then you're going to pick up the seed bead. So it will now look like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to skip over that seed bead and you're going to go back through just the clamshell. Just like that. We'll pull that through. Make sure your seed bead fits in. And if it looks like this and there's thread, just hold your little clamshell, grab this thread and pull. And then what we're going to do is, because we have 1 seed bead on, we have to pick up the other seed bead. And now this is the important part. See how the thread is coming out of this side with the seed bead on this side? We kind of want it to loop around, so we're going to go back through there just like that. Okay, and if you want to reinforce that, you can go up the seed bead on the other side. So just like that. You can go through the clamshell opening, out the clamshell like that. And pull a little tight, just make sure everything is tight. And then what we'll do is we'll go through the bead that's in the clamshell, and then we'll come down the clamshell mouth, we'll go down its throat, and then we will go out the seed bead. So now what we want to do is we want to start adding more mini duos through these spaces and not here. So what we have to do is we have to get our needle coming out of one of these spaces. So I'm going to go through here, and this is where you have to finagle, and you have to follow the path of the super duos, and then we'll come down here. And because I want it to come out this, it looks like I can't, so it looks like we're gonna have to come out on this side. So I'm just gonna bring my needle through here. Just like that, through that seed bead, and then out here. So just like that. And then I'll just watch my tail. And this is how you want your seed bead. So now your thread is coming out here. Now this is an important part that I need to tell you about, because while it's a very, very easy step, it may be something that you'll have to pull apart if your holes are not there. And what I mean by that is certain super duos or mini duos that you're going to use may have a coating on them, which means that the hole is going to get plugged. And if we're putting our needle through the first hole, that's great. We won't be putting our needle through the second hole until much later, which means if your top hole is okay, you won't know about your hole being stopped later on in the piece, and you may have to redo everything. So while you're doing this particular portion, just do like maybe a quick boop boop. If you can see the two holes, great. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to pick up a mini duo, and then we're just going to come up right there, the next. So we're going to be working on this side. So all the little mini duos on the end here. And then this is what you're going to do. Just like that. And then we're going to come down the mini duo on the other side. We're going to double check the holes, and I could see the two holes in there, so I'm going to use this one. And then we're going to come up here. Just like that. And then I'm going to go down the same mini duo on the opposite side, so my needle comes out this hole here. Double check your mini duos. I can see both holes. And then I'm going to come up there. I'm going to come down the same mini duo. And this is what you're going to do all the way around. Well, do one side first. Double checking, yep, I can see both holes. So we're going to come up here. And then I'm going to come down the same mini duo on that side. And so go ahead and do that all the way down. And when you're done, I'll show you how to get to the other side to do it on the opposite. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've added in all my little super duos. And if you come out here, what you can do is get your thread to the other side. So we'll just come through there like that. So if your thread, after you added on your last one and you came down out there, you can just come out here. I do see. So I went through, back through there, the top of that middle bead, and out the bottom of the one there. And that will set you up to do it on the opposite side. So we'll double check, make sure our holes. If you want to do a couple holes at a time, you know, a couple, check your holes, a couple beads at a time, and then we just go back up here. We'll go back down the same mini duo. We'll pick this up, and then we'll come up here, just like that. And then we'll come back down on this side and continue to do that all the way down on the opposite side. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added on all my little mini duos, and my thread is exiting right here. So what we want to do now is have our bicones and our seed beads at the ready, because now what we're going to do is we're going to start working each section. So now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on a section like this. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that our thread is coming out these seed beads or these super duos here, either one at the base. So we're going to be focusing on the base of these super duos that are sticking out. So if I'm going to come through here, and sometimes you just have to finagle and get your needle, and where you come out on one side you have to work on the opposite. So I'm going to go through those two, like that end one, the middle one, and then I'm going to bring my needle through here. I added on some extra thread. I'm going to go through here, if I can get my needle in there, that bottom one, and I'm going to come out here, just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, and I think I want the gold to be on the top, and I want my white ones these are supposed to look like pearls. I don't know how good it's gonna look until I put it together, but regardless, these are the 2 colors I chose. And so I'm gonna take the 2 seed beads, and I'm just gonna go through that next seed bead on the top there. Okay, so just like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2 more seed beads, and I'm going to come over here. So let's pretend that we're going to be making a bridge over a river, and I'm going to come back down onto this side. So that way when I pull, you'll see, just like that. See how I did that? It'll make a little square kind of thing. So we're going to pick up 2 more of your base color seed beads, and then we're going to come over here, just like that. And then I'm going to pick up 2 more seed beads and make a bridge over the river, and I'm going to just come out the seed bead or the super duo on the bottom on the other side. Okay, and that is how we make our little square base. So now what you want to do is we now want to go up to the second floor of the seed bead to make our top part. So we're going to come up here, we're going to go in the opposite direction, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2 of my top color, and I'm going to make a bridge over this little bridge, and I'm going to go through the top part or the second floor of the mini duo on the opposite side, just like this. And then what you want to do is you want to pull tight, so that way the mini duos stand up and the 2 seed beads are on top of each other. So you can see the gold is on top of the white. And so you want to pull tight as you go. Then what you're going to do is you're going to do your gold, or in my case my gold, my top bead. I'm going to go to the second floor on this mini duo, And then I'm gonna pick up 2 more gold. I'm gonna make a bridge over my other bridge and go through the mini duo on the opposite side. Mind your thread, it will get caught. And as you can see, as I'm pulling, it's creating this little cup. So what you also want to do too is sometimes you want to help it along. Sometimes your bead threads and your beads may get caught. So you kind of want to make it a square. And then of course, last but not least, I'll pick up 2 more of my top ones and go through the second floor only on the top floor there. And that's it. I'm going to go through there. Okay. So now what's going to happen is you can see we are in the top right corner of our little square. And you can go ahead and fix it a little bit. Sometimes it'll pull, and then just do what you need to do. And so now what we're going to do is we're coming out the top right. We're going to pick up a bicone. And what we're going to do is we're going to come down on the diagonal on the opposite side, but we're going to go through the super duo to go back, because you got to remember, to go forward you got to go back. So we want to go back, because what's going to happen when we pull our needle through, we're going to come back down going this way. And we want to do that because we need to start working on these. So we're going to go from the top right to the bottom left. And we'll pull that, and your bicone should sit right in there. Now sometimes it may be a little, if you pull a little too tight, and then you just want to get your little bicone in there. And now that my thread is coming out the second floor, the top floor of this mini duo, I'm going to bring it back through the bottom one there. Go back to the first floor and pull. Okay. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get our needle through the bottom floor of this one. So what we're going to do with that is I'm going to come through here of this mini duo, just like this. I'm going to come down on the opposite side there, so that little mini duo. And then I'm going to go through the bottom floor of that mini duo that sticks out. And once again, mind your thread. We are going to work on the first floor, then we'll go up to the second floor. So my first floor, I'm going to pick up 2 of the white beads. I'm going to go through the first floor of the next mini duo. I'm going to pick up 2 of my white beads. I'm going to make a bridge over the little river and go through the mini duo on the opposite side. Just like that. I'm going to pick up 2 more white beads. I'm going to go through the bottom floor of the mini duo, the next one. And then we're going to create a bridge. Pick up 2. And I will go through the mini duo only on the opposite side. Don't want to go through the seed beads. And now we created a bridge. So just like that. Make sure your beads are a little good. Fix them. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get to the second floor of the same mini duo, going up onto the second floor. Just like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up 2 of my gold beads. I'm going to make a second level of a bridge. I'm going to go across the river and above the other bridge to the mini duo on the other side. I'm going to pull. And I want to get the beads sticking up, so I'm going to just put that into place. I'm going to pick up 2 of my other gold beads. And I'm going to go through the second floor of this next mini duo. Just like that. As you can see, the work is starting to stand up a bit. I'm going to pick up 2 more gold beads. And I'm going to go over the bridge to the second floor of the mini duo on the opposite side. And then pick up my 2 gold beads, and I will go through the second floor of the mini duo on the top left. Okay. Remember in the previous round, we started at the top right. Now we're at the top left. We're going to pick up a bicone, and we're going to go through the mini duo on the opposite side on the bottom right. This is what gives the bicone the changing direction. And we'll pull that through. And then we'll just, you're gonna have to like shape it a little bit. Pull it through. There we go. And there we are. And so now you're going to do the same thing. We're coming out the second floor. You want to go back down the first floor. And we'll pull. And so now we have to get our thread coming out the bottom here. So I'm going to go through that super duo here. I'm going to come down, back out that there. And I'm going to come down the first floor of this one that sticks out. And this is what you do going down. And then I'm going to go through the first floor, pick up my white beads, go through the first floor, going to make my bridge over the river and go to the first floor of the super duo on the opposite side of the river. I'm going to pick up 2 white beads, go to the first floor of the super duo here, pick up 2 beads, and go back through the first floor only of the super duo on the opposite side of the river. Then I'm going to go up to the second floor. I'm going to pick up my gold beads, pick up 2 gold beads. I'm going to go up to the second floor on the opposite side of the river, make a bridge over that bridge. This part you're going to have to finagle a little bit and kind of hold it up and pull tight. Again, we'll pick up 2 gold beads and we'll go to the second floor of this mini duo, super duo. We will create a pick up 2 more gold beads. We'll go over the bridge to the 2nd floor on the other side of the river. And then we will finish off by picking up 2 gold beads and going through the super duo on the top right, just like we did up here. So now you're going to pick up your bicone and you're going to go down the top left, just like that. We want to go back, so to go forward you have to go back. Remember that. You have to go back to go forward. And so we're going to come back down the 1st floor of that same super duo. And of course, let's fix. Just tighten it up a bit. Get that going. And there you are. And you are going to do that all the way down. If you do it correctly, you'll start in the top right and end in the bottom left on your first one. On your second one, you will start in the top left, end at your bottom right. Then you're going to go back to the top right and then bottom left. And then in your next round, if you did it right, you'll go top left, bottom right. And that's what gives our bicones the crisscross kind of left and right and changes direction. So what you can do is you do that and do that going all the way down, and I will show you what to do. Okay, so I am adding on my last bicone. I'm really excited that this bracelet is finally done. And I'm just going to pull. There, get a little square looking. There we are. And now that I finally did that, what I'm going to do is get my needle out here. So I'm just going to follow the path of the bicones. I think, all right, I'm going to come through here. This bottom part, and let's go through. There's a little super duo in there, but if I come out here, get my needle through that one in the hole there. Actually, I think I'll just come through there. I'll come up through these two. Go off the top of that super duo. I'll go up through that seed bead and through the mouth of the clamshell. Am I in there? Yes, I am. And that is it. So what I'm going to do now is just tie off those really tight. And because we already added on our clamshells, the only thing we really need to do, so we'll cut that off. If you want, you can add some glue, and then we'll close it off. And then you just add your final little findings. I think this one we'll just put our lobster clasp on. Same thing with here. I ended up adding string, and when I added the string, I came through here and then weaved my way around. So that way I've got string here that I just tie off. Just like that. And then cut that off. You can add your glue. I use this glue. This is the best glue ever. And then we'll just close it up. And then we'll add our little jump ring. And there we are. Made a pretty little bracelet. And that was loads of fun. You can see how pretty that is. So thank you very much, you guys. I hope you had fun making these bracelets, no matter what color you guys chose to do it in. And if you really liked this video and you want to have more tutorials from me, hit the subscribe button so that way you can be notified of, and then you hit the little bell, I think there's one, and then you can be notified of when I have more videos uploaded and more fun tutorials. So thanks for being here. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.